Welcome in. Special episode of What's Right with Nick Wright that we're bringing you today for the holiday break, if you will, where we're going to look at 4 of what I've been told are my best takes of the year. And that must have been hard work. I mean, for the producers to find just 4. I mean, we've got all these episodes, all these takes, and the producers had to spend their, days right before Christmas finding just the 4 best. And then equally hard, I would imagine, would be finding my 4 worst, because how many episodes did you listen to start to finish, all 60 minutes, and you're like, damn, not a single bad one. I mean, that's a lot of work for you guys, that you guys are putting in the extra hours around the holidays, which I greatly appreciate. DeMonte, let's start with the best, and we should have some sound associated with all these. DeMonte, go ahead. What's the first one?
You started off 2023 with an all-time heater. You doubled down on the prince that was promised in the Jags beating the Chargers in the playoffs last year. Even when they were down 27 points, you still bet on your guy, Trevor Lawrence. And it paid off. You celebrated with a victorious IG Live.
The Jaguars were 4-8. And somebody had the foresight to say they're still winning the division. And I told you guys a month ago that the next time they lose was going to be in Arrowhead to the Chiefs in the divisional round. Yo, you don't say! Everybody laughed at me.
To mention, he's still undefeated on Saturdays.
Undefeated on Saturdays! I forgot about that stupid take I had.
Does this belong in your top 4 winning takes?
Yeah, definitely. You were there with me for that, watching that whole game.
That was crazy. It was a crazy night.
That was crazy. I mean, it wasn't looking great in the first half. We're not going to lie. And you know what take other people had that I didn't, that actually is a take that aged really well, was that the Chargers should have fired Staley right after that game.
Yeah.
That they should have moved on from him right there. That they weren't going to recover from that loss.
Within a great take.
Yeah. And that one's not even mine. Now, Trevor this year, he's dealt with some injury. I thought that he was going to have an MVP caliber season. He obviously hasn't. I still think the Jags, if he's healthy, are dangerous come the playoffs. But yeah, we'll always have last year when I never abandoned the 2-7. I think they were at one point, Jacksonville Jaguars, all the way to a playoff victory. And then they went to Arrowhead and threw a scare into my Chiefs after Mahomes got hurt. All right, next.
All right, next up, we have your most viral clip of the year, when you called out the tush push.
I said it 6 months ago. I'll say it again. I will eventually be proven right. That tush push play is a blight on the league. It's bad for the sport. It should not be allowed. The reason the NFL will ban this is because the play sucks. It's not exciting. It takes all suspense out. It's an ugly play. That's it. The NFL changes rules all the time to make things a better television product.
You said it was an unattractive play and that it was bad for TV, and called that it will be banned a few months later. And a few months later, Commissioner Roger Goodell called out the play for that exact same reason. We'll see if you're truly right after this season, but that's got to be up there with one of your best ones, right?
Well, listen, this is one of those times where I'm just surprised that I'm allowed to be like the only person saying something when it's so obvious to me. Like, everyone was talking about, is it fair? Is it not fair? Is it dangerous? Is it health risk? And it was just so obvious to me, none of that matters. The NFL's a television show, and this is terrible television. The NFL's going to change it. And now what you're seeing already, I believe, just my hypothesis, is the NFL is trying to almost grease the skids to changing it by enforcing more procedural penalties on it. You saw Jason Kelce get penalized for moving the football on it this past week because they do not want that to be a central part of the offense for one of their marquee teams. That was so clear that was going to happen. Next.
You were right on your Chiefs at the beginning of the year through the end with your mantra, never a doubt. on their way to their second Lombardi of the Mahomes era.
Who could have seen it coming? This God Dog show, that's who could have seen it coming. Let's go! Oh, it's the Bills' year. Oh, the Bengals have their number. Oh, they're going to miss Tyreek Hill. Oh, Mahomes is hurt. Ain't a damn thing matter when you have that quarterback and that coach.
Your confidence continued to grow as you made some bold predictions for this season. Will this become a Category 2 take?
Well, the undefeated year obviously is, died on opening night, which almost made it so bad it was good. That almost like calling for a team to go 20-0 and they don't get to 1-0 is just kind of like hilarious. And had they started 5-0 and then lost, it wouldn't have the same panache as what happened.
Yeah.
Now I believe the Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl. And the way my Super Bowl pick is Chiefs Cowboys. It would be I was so close to having it dead on last year, and I'm sure we'll talk about that later when I had Chiefs Niners. I'd love to have a Chiefs Cowboys Super Bowl. But the most fun for me, for the TV show, for everyone, is a Chiefs Niners Super Bowl. That's the most fun. The most fun is if Purdy just keeps rolling, wins a league MVP days before the Super Bowl, and then takes on the Chiefs. That's the outcome that I think sports fans deserve. I don't think that's the outcome they're going to get, because I don't think the Niners are going to get there. But that would feel like the highest stakes for me of any Super Bowl imaginable. All right, last one.
1000%. Have you ever been more right on someone than Draymond Green this year? He's always gotten into on-the-court trouble, but after his shenanigans in Sacramento, you said the juice is no longer worth the squeeze. Well, Draymond kept going down the same road.
Yeah, and so we'll see. Listen, I want to be... I mean, obviously, Draymond's not dealing with the decline of his team and his play well, and he's going through some things. I don't really buy, though. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. The punishment of has to go to counseling and it's indefinite doesn't jive with the fact that he said it was an accident. He said this last thing he didn't mean to do. And so if you're someone who, and this is a clumsy analogy, I apologize, but has gotten 2 DUIs, and then you get arrested for a third, and you tell your friends, family, everyone that will listen, guys, I know I've made mistakes in the past. This time, I didn't have a drop to drink. I fell asleep. The cop was wrong. I'm going to fight this. I know I've made mistakes. I was not drinking. And then the next day you check into rehab. It's like, well, hold on, wait a minute. Draymond sat at that press conference and said, I was trying to flop. I did not mean to hit him. And then the next day the NBA says you need to basically undergo counseling for anger management. Well, hold on. So in my opinion, part of Draymond, since it's an indefinite suspension, part of his return to play should have to be him, acknowledging, no, I was lying there. I definitely meant to hit him because I'm a maniac at this moment of my career on the court. And the part of it it sucks for Steph, because Steph is somehow as good as ever. Clay is coming on a bit, but we know Clay is a diminished player, and Draymond is flailing about, literally and physically. All right, last one, DeMonte, before we get to the wrong takes. And I don't even know how they found 4 of them, but go ahead.
You got a quick bonus take here. So while I was away some time ago, you and Dior had a debate over which was the best barbecue spot or barbecue place between Kansas City and Houston.
It's kind of a general consensus that Texas has the best barbecue.
And I'm telling you that is nonsense. If we are ranking barbecue, it's Kansas City 1, Memphis 2, the Carolinas 3. That's the list.
Number 1 is Texas.
According to what, Diora?
Second is Memphis.
According to what, Diora?
Third is Kansas City, Missouri.
According to what, Diora?
Google.
You agree with me on this, right?
100%.
That Texas barbecue is good, but overrated, and Kansas City barbecue is the best barbecue of anywhere in the world?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't go as far as to call it overrated, but Kansas City barbecue is definitely better than Texas, and I'm basing that off of maybe two spots.
It's only overrated by people who say it's the best. Something can be good, but not close to the best. And your sister really infuriated me that show. She was like, "No, it's Texas. Everybody knows it." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "Look," and she was like, "Look at this," and showed me like a GeoCities Google page where it was like, "Texas is the best." Give me a break. That was the worst take. Diora didn't give many takes, but that was the worst take anyone gave, was the Texas over Kansas City barbecue. All right, what are my losing takes? What are we doing here?
We're losing takes. All right, you may have been right on KC last season, and maybe right on them again this year. Maybe. But when it comes to betting on your Chiefs, let's just say you have not done your best. This is actually an intervention. We are urging you to please stop betting the Chiefs.
Oh, Nick, you always pick the Chiefs. False.
I definitely knew that.
I tend not to include the Chiefs in Nick's picks.
Oh, no.
But I typically, and you know this, Demonze, do not pick the Chiefs in Nick's picks.
That's my favorite saying.
I don't typically put the Chiefs in Nick's picks because they're not a great covering team. And you guys know I don't pick the Chiefs every week. The Chiefs actually are rarely in the picks.
Not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6.
Yeah, I think Kansas City wins. When it's only a 1.5 spread, you don't have to do much analysis. Who do you think is going to win?
Stop it. Get some help.
Just stop betting with your heart, bet with your mind. You're straying away from the process. Let's get back to the process. We are not going to get back on top of things with the few weeks that we have left if you keep betting the Chiefs, especially as heavy favorites. We know that it's never been the thing to do. Let's rally. My teasers are in the dumps. You still have life. Let's get into it.
None of us get a pass tonight. We have to be better.
All right, well, that's really well done by you guys. I didn't see that coming. Now, I didn't realize I'd bet on the Chiefs 6 times this year. I didn't realize that every time I've done it, I've said I typically don't. Now, 6 times is, we're 16 weeks into the year. That's not even every other week. I also will say this, if I was looking at that correctly. I'm 2-4 betting the Chiefs. One of those losses was the Jets game when Mahomes took a knee instead of scoring a touchdown that would have given me a cover. Right? Another one was the Bills game when the referees stole the cover from me. So in my heart, I'm 4-2 betting the Chiefs. The Packers one was bad. I got that one wrong, and I don't even know what the Packers I had them laying 6. They lost by 8, and I don't even know what the other one was where I didn't cover. But yeah, I mean, listen, I thought about including them in Week 16 against the Raiders -10. I didn't. Well, by the time you guys see this, we'll know whether or not that covered. But what is noteworthy is, in the history of Nick's picks, I don't think I've ever bet against the Chiefs, which is probably bad process. I've never once taken the team playing the Chiefs to cover. That's probably bad process. I can admit that. All right, next.
You were the harshest critic on the then 2-time reigning MVP, Nikola Jokic, in early 2023.
This is the part that kills me about the voters. Well, a lot of them are talking head folks or writers, and they make predictions. Very few are picking the Nuggets to win the title. Why not? The West is wide open. They have the best player. They have home court. Shouldn't they be the title pick? Unless you actually deep down don't think he's the best player. In which case, stop giving him the MVP every year.
And while you have come around to on the Serbian, it did take a while to get there. How hard was it to swallow this one?
Well, listen, I was wrong on certain things, and so here's where I'm at.
You were just wrong.
Well, I was wrong about his ceiling and how great of a player he was. There's no doubt I was wrong about that. I didn't see what other people saw. I was wrong about that. I was not wrong that giving him a third straight MVP would have been crazy. I was not wrong that giving him the back-to-back MVP when his team was a 6th seed, I thought was the wrong result. I still feel that way about those MVP awards, that it was giving a second straight MVP when MVPs, except for Russ, had always come from teams that were a top 3 seed, and certainly not breaking the precedent. We're not going to have a third straight MVP. I stand by all those. I was wrong about how good he was and wrong about what the Nuggets could do. I was wrong about those things. My feelings about the historical precedent mattering for MVP awards, I don't feel like I was wrong about those. I don't. But I was wrong about the big picture stuff. What, Demonte? Go ahead.
I mean, the third year that you said he shouldn't have got the MVP, he went on to win the finals. So
Yeah,
I didn't understand how you were still on the same side of that argument. Like, after he won the finals.
Because, hold on. Okay, so for 2 reasons, if I may just quickly. One is, leading into that, when I was making the case, the guy just got bounced in round 1, let's not give him a third straight MVP, everyone told me I'm a clown and that it's a regular season award for this year only, so what happens in the postseason shouldn't matter. Now folks are saying, oh, now the postseason does matter. I agree the postseason matters, which is why in a just world, he wouldn't have won it the year before, and then he could have won it last year. But overall, yeah, I was wrong about Jokic. That's correct. But the MVP stuff, I stand by. Next. Next.
All right, man. You might not call this a losing take, but I am. We will. You had 2 50-1 tickets this year, and you were so close. The Chiefs, Eagles, Super Bowl exacta, and the Lakers to win the finals. The producers and I begged you to hedge, and you refused to, time after time, and you ended up losing.
Yeah.
Would you take it back knowing what you know now?
No, absolutely not. No, I wouldn't. And here's the thing. I don't want to sound fatalistic, but the fact of the matter is this. I'm going to die with money left over. Unless something goes terribly awry, when I die, there's going to be some amount of money left. I'm not going to have drawn down to zero. So all of these, me not hedging, it just is actually costing Demonte, Diora, and Deanna money. It just draws down what they eventually will get. So I'm fine. I got a good job. I live a good life, and I'm not hedging. I don't gamble to hedge. What's the t-shirt we were going to make? I'm a goddamn gambler. I'm not hedging. I forgot what it was. Gabe might remember.
I remember.
But it would have been a good t-shirt. All right, last one. Go ahead.
All right. Admittedly, you could still be right on this one, but fading the 49ers has not looked great this season. In the preseason gambling show, you bet them to win under 10.5 games and raised plenty of red flags about their season to come. They're the number 1 seed in the NFC now. It's not too late to join me in the public. Do you think this will turn into a Category 2 take, or will I be proven right?
No, it's a category. It's gonna be my most legendary Category 2. This is gonna be so glorious when 6 days after I am proven right on a massive playoff stage, when the Niners, the script will probably be something like this. The Niners are playing the NFC Championship game, and somebody makes a mistake. Somebody fumbles, or there's a tipped pass pick or something, and all of a sudden, the game, not Purdy's fault, the game script goes against the Niners, and they're playing from behind. And then as we saw Purdy, that month he had to play from behind, the picks come, the mistakes come. All that's going to happen. I am going to be able to be the one media member that never wavered, and 4 days later, he's going to be handed the league's MVP award. That's what's going to happen. So this will be a Category 2. Our producer, Victor, Victor, hold it up for the camera. We actually did make these t-shirts. I forgot it. We just never sold them. We should sell them in Trintage. Can we hold up this t-shirt? Hedging is for cowards and stock traders. I'm a gambler. Oh, I love it. I want to wear that t-shirt. I love that. I didn't even know we actually had them made. Guys, before we go, this special episode of What's Right with Nick Wright was brought to you by Airbnb. I love and use Airbnb all the time, whether for a work trip or for a vacation. I'm always looking for the best places to stay. Maybe you yourself have stayed in Airbnb and thought, this seems pretty doable. Maybe my place could be an Airbnb. It could be as simple as starting with a spare room or your whole place when you're away. Either way, you could be sitting on an Airbnb and not even know it. Maybe you're traveling to see friends and family for the holidays. While you're away, your home could be an Airbnb. Whether you could use extra money to cover some bills or for something a little more fun, your home might be worth more than you think. Find out how much at airbnb.com/host. See you guys in 2024. Hey, it's Nick Wright. Thank you so much for watching. Please do us a favor. Click subscribe. It helps my ego. And Demonze's got a financial bonus writing on a number of YouTube subscribers, so help him out. And also, click the bell. I don't know what the bell does, but they tell me to tell you to click the bell. And your audio listeners, people that have commutes, drives, whatever it is, subscribe to the podcast as well, wherever you get the podcast. Same show, just in your ears instead of through your eyes. All that. Check it out. Appreciate y'all.